show everybody trying to be a victim. Like, what's this girl, Meghan Markle? But I'm not a victim, baby. You will never see me on Oprah or Gayle crying.
Life was pretty private when you were a D-list actress. Nobody knows who the fuck you are. People go on Oprah to make sure their life is no longer private.
Meghan Markle complains that nobody has complained about her for a while.
I am here for it.
Hit the fucking light-skin lottery and still going on complaining, acting all dumb like she don't know nothing.
Chris Rock didn't just joke about Meghan Markle, he ended her entire PR storyline in 3 minutes flat. Meghan Markle thought leaving the palace meant freedom from judgment, but what she really got was Chris Rock turning her sob story into primetime comedy.
Lot going on in the news. My God, it's so crazy out there. What's going on with Meghan Markle? She thinks that everybody is just stupid. Like we can't see that she is manipulating his dumb husband. I really feel sorry for the family. Maybe everybody's fixating her on how good looking this guy.
And trust me, he didn't hold back. He roasted her harder than British tabloids ever dreamed of. Forget royal titles, forget Hollywood glam, Chris Rock officially crowned her the Queen of Complaints, live on stage, worldwide.
They're so racist, they're so racist. Some of that he went through was not racism. It was just some in-law. Sometimes it's just some in-law. Because she's complaining, I'm like, what the she talking about?
It started like any normal comedy show. The lights went down, the crowd was loud, and Chris Rock walked out. But what came next wasn't just jokes, it felt like a takedown. And the one in the middle of it all? Meghan Markle. Rock just proved what everyone suspected all along. Meghan didn't escape the spotlight, she just got roasted under a brighter one.
Going on Oprah, I didn't know. I had no idea how racist they were. It's the royal family. You didn't Google these motherfuckers? What is she talking about? She didn't know.
No careful build-up, no dodging names. Rock went straight for the jugular. In a few sharp lines, he flipped her image from press victim to running gag of the night. And here's the brutal part, it wasn't even his strongest material. The real damage landed in the silence after each punchline, when the crowd paused and thought, yeah, he's right.
No, they're the original racists. Colonialism. They're the OGs of racism. Sugar Hill Gang of racism. What talking about? These motherfuckers invested in slavery like it was Shark Tank.
Meghan had always tried to play the part of someone misunderstood, someone above all the noise. But Rock cut straight through that act. He showed her for what she really was, entitled, calculated, and desperate for the attention she pretended to hate. And that wasn't even the hard punch. What came after wasn't comedy, it was a chain of hits that left no room for sympathy.
The fuck is she talking about? I didn't know. That's like marrying into the Budweiser family and going, they drink a lot.
Meghan's whole image was built on this one idea, that she had no clue what royal life would be like. Like she just walked into the palace thinking, oh cool, free castle. Nice story. Until someone says the obvious, it's pure fiction. Do you think Meghan really didn't know how royalty works? Or is that the biggest act of all?
They're so racist. They wanted to know how brown the baby's gonna be. I'm like, that's not racist. Because even black people want to know.
Chris Rock didn't waste time pretending to be polite. He lit the whole thing up. He didn't question her story, he torched it. He mocked the idea that she was clueless about the royals, comparing it to someone moving to Vegas and acting surprised there are casinos. The crowd erupted. It was quick, it was sharp, and there was no arguing with it.
Meghan Markle, I know the dilemma. Black girl trying to be accepted by her white in-laws. I'm like, hey, if you black and you want to be accepted by your white in-laws, then you need to marry a Kardashian.
At that moment, the image cracked. Because let's be real, Meghan didn't just wander into royalty by accident. She knew exactly what she was signing up for. And she walked into that palace looking like she'd already practiced her wave in the mirror.
Where's the black part of Meghan Markle? Isn't she black?
Half.
I don't know black people to make biscuits for their dog.
By the end, Rock didn't just land a few jokes. He ripped the wrapping paper off Meghan's whole act. Suddenly, the poor Meghan routine wasn't cute anymore. It was comedy fuel. The worst part? She wasn't even there to try and spin it. Not that it mattered.
I'll tell Oprah that they were chasing me around the royal palace with nooses, and then Netflix will open up a suitcase full of money, and we'll go do documentaries about kids with cleft palates. Is it like where their lip is in their nose? Yes. Yes, just Google it, Harry.
After that night, the floodgates opened. Late night shows, internet memes, random Twitter users even with 12 followers. It was open season. What Rock pulled off in a few minutes would take her team a lifetime to clean up. That's the thing about a perfect roast. It doesn't end on stage. It keeps exploding long after the mic drops.
My castle's too small.
Yeah.
The queen is mean to me. They won't let me call myself Her Royal Highness anymore.
The jokes spread fast, clips everywhere, people replaying the lines just to hear the burn twice. And once the smoke cleared, comedians everywhere smelled blood. In the UK especially, they didn't hold back. Meghan and Harry got painted as the ultimate contradiction. Royalty who cry about fame while cashing streaming checks big enough to fund their privacy.
Sir, your millions from Netflix for no one knows what.
Put it with the rest of them.
Babe, time to do our daily $250,000 sponsored Instagram post for Del Taco.
Their jokes were sharp, mean, and dripping with that special kind of British sarcasm you only get from people who've grown up watching the royals like it's a soap opera. And across the ocean, commentators piled on too. They tore into the brand deals, the self-pity, and the never-ending victim routine.
The nearest thing Meghan Markle ever had to a billion-dollar idea was marrying a prince. And even that didn't work out.
Comedians who'd never even met were suddenly making the same jokes. That's not coincidence. That's what happens when Chris Rock cracks the seal. By the end of the week, Meghan wasn't a misunderstood duchess or a serious actress. She was comedy's new favorite punchline. A headline in human form, packed with contradictions that were just too easy and too tempting for any comic to resist. What started with Rock's roast had officially gone global.
Found her. I'm over it. She's not important. She married for money. It's very clear she bagged the elephant. She was thrilled she became a, quote, princess.
Well, you can...
It was planned from the beginning. She denied being interested in the royal family, which she totally was.
While other comedians took shots at Meghan's little quirks, Maher went for the big picture. He broke down the whole playbook, wanting the titles without the duty, the fame without the criticism, the spotlight without the burn.
It's the cry bullies of that generation, as I said, raised wrong. So they think when someone disagrees with them, it's a hate crime, and it's violence, and it's unacceptable, and it's just got to stop. You don't get your teenagers under control.
In his words, this wasn't a scandal. It was a business plan designed to crash. He stacked their non-stop complaints against Queen Elizabeth's decades of silence under harsher press, and the contrast hit hard. One side looked like Grace under fire. The other looked like a reality show audition.
The woman who destroyed her in-laws' family, whose own family doesn't like her, whose the in-laws obviously don't like her, the public doesn't like her, she seems to be one of the more vindictive, sort of nasty figures in public life.
Some commentators boiled it down to one brutal truth. The world isn't obligated to play along with your personal drama. That single line stripped away the victim narrative and exposed the entitlement beneath it. No shouting, no cheap shots, just a blunt truth that left the audience nodding instead of laughing. By the end, they hadn't just roasted Meghan, they diagnosed her brand, and the prognosis was terminal. A self-inflicted implosion wrapped in a royal title and sold as tragedy.
Earlier today, Suits actress Meghan Markle married some unemployed dude who still lives with his grandma.
By this stage, Meghan's reputation wasn't damaged, it was rubble. The internet chewed it up and spat it back out as memes, one-liners, and running gags that circled the globe. Chris Rock didn't just tell a joke, he pulled the first domino, and the rest came crashing down in comedy clubs, podcasts, and timelines everywhere. And here's the brutal part. Scandals fade, headlines disappear, but jokes live forever.
What has emerged is a self-absorbed narcissist living in a parallel universe with her own version of the truth.
Even when Meghan and Harry tried to hit reset, charity projects, glossy interviews, carefully posed photos, it all landed with the same problem. People weren't listening to them anymore. They were hearing the echo of the jokes. Every speech sounded scripted. Every appearance looked staged. The roast had stuck, and once comedy turns your name into shorthand for fake sincerity, you're finished.
No more magazines and Netflix shows. We really can live a normal life. Yes, I'm sure you agree, darling. We can be the people we talked about.
Scandals don't kill politicians. PR disasters don't end celebrities. But once the world decides you're a punchline, that's game over. You don't rebuild from that you live under. The court jesters of today aren't in palaces, they're on stages and online feeds, and their verdict sticks harder than any headline.
Your life was pretty private when you were a D-list actress. Nobody knows who the fuck you are. People go on Oprah to make sure their life is no longer private.
Meghan didn't lose her story to the press, the royals, or even Chris Rock. She lost it to laughter. And laughter doesn't hand back what it takes. That's why this saga isn't about one roast or one special. Rock lit the match, sure, but the blaze spread everywhere. Now every contradiction, every overdone sob story, every awkward rebrand, it's all stamped into history, written not in newsprint, but in punchlines.
I mean, this is oversharing, oversharing, oversharing. She had the chance to be seen as elegant, elusive, and powerful, the kind of woman people lean in to hear.
Yeah.
But instead, we've heard everything. Every grievance, every private conversation, every subtle slight turned into a headline, from Oprah to Spotify to Netflix, to staged whispers in People magazine. It's been non-stop.
If Chris Rock's roast was the final nail in Meghan's royal coffin, smash that like. If you think she still has a comeback, drop it in the comments.